Of Elkins will send off a series of water samples to the Department of Health. This is as a boil order is in place for the city. ADH issued an emergency measure on Friday after E. coli was detected in the water distribution system. ADH advises residents to boil water for at least 1 minute before consumption and to throw away ice cubes made from unboiled water. Well, officers with the Centerton Police Department are mourning the loss of Captain Chris Kelly. He died after an explosion at his Gravette home. An investigation continues into what exactly happened. 5 News reporter Emily Moss has the latest.
Well, the Benton County Sheriff's Office continues to investigate what exactly happened that led up to the explosion incident on Kelly's farm. It's becoming increasingly more clear just how big of an impact Kelly had, both here at the Centerton Police Department as well as across several agencies across the state. The explosion happened Saturday evening at Kelly's home off of Highway 72 west of Gravette. He was off duty. Investigators believe he was working on his farm when the explosion happened. Kelly was a captain with the Centerton Police Department and reserve deputy with the Benton County Sheriff's Office. The Centerton mayor issuing a statement calling him a respected leader, public servant, and trusted friend. Other agencies, including Pea Ridge Police, say his impact on the community and the officers he served alongside will not be forgotten. The Benton County Sheriff's Office also issued their own statement about their loss, calling Kelly a remarkable man who was more than a badge and a uniform. We've also learned that Kelly was awarded Reserve Deputy of the Year in 2023, and he's been serving with the Reserve Division since 2017. In Centerton, covering news where you live, Emily Moss, 5 News.
The department is set to hold a press conference at 2:30 this afternoon with updates. We'll be streaming that press conference on 5 News Plus, our streaming app. If you don't already have it, you can scan the QR code on your screen to download it. Well, new at noon, Fort Smith police share an update on Officer Kyle Newman, who was shot and critically injured during a DWI traffic stop last month. The Fort Smith Police Department says Officer Newman continues to make steady and positive progress while he recovers from his critical injuries. The department says Newman continues to receive close attention as his condition remains serious and complex. We'll keep you updated on his condition as more information becomes available. Well, 2 people were killed on Sunday in a motorcycle accident near the intersection of Highway 412 and Littrell Road. State police say a motorcycle driven by 49-year-old Bryce McLean of Tawnytown was heading east when he left the highway and ran into a cable barrier. 40-year-old Megan McLean was a passenger. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol is investigating a drowning that happened over the weekend in Sequoia County. They say an 87-year-old man died at Brushy Lake Park on Sunday. It happened just after 1:30 p.m. The victim was identified as Julio Ranchetta of Salisaw. According to investigators, the victim was not wearing a life jacket. The U.S. and Iran continue to trade fire amid the fragile ceasefire. President Trump is still expressing optimism for a deal, but Israeli attacks on Lebanon are threatening the ceasefire as well. Natalie Brandt has more details from the White House.
Sirens sounded in Kuwait as Iran launched missiles at the country, which hosts key U.S. air bases. U.S. Central Command says all missiles were destroyed before they hit their targets. Iran claimed it was retaliation after the U.S. struck Iranian military targets in response to what the U.S. called Iranian aggression. The back and forth has also involved Iran saying it shot down a U.S. drone and U.S. Central Command saying it eliminated Iranian air defenses, a ground control station, and 2-way Iranian attack drones in self-defense. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said this weekend the military is ready to fight if ordered to do so, but that the administration prefers a peace deal.
Right now, we're focused on being postured and prepared to re-engage if we have to. I mean, this is a high-stakes negotiation. We've got the best negotiator in the world leading it.
Iran called the strikes a violation of the ceasefire, but President Trump overnight on social media continues to insist Iran really wants to make a deal and that it will be a good one for the U.S.
But Iranian state television is now reporting talks have been suspended with the U.S. because of Israeli attacks on Hezbollah in Lebanon, which Iran says violates the ceasefire. Over the weekend, Israeli soldiers captured the 900-year-old Beaufort Castle in Lebanon, its deepest incursion into the country yet. Iran's foreign minister says the U.S. and Israel are responsible for the consequences of any violation of the ceasefire.
The Iranians, as part of their demands for this deal, essentially are demanding that the United States restrain Israel in Israel's fight with Hezbollah. That's a tall order for the United States to do, and it's going to be a tall order for Netanyahu to accept.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ordered attacks on Hezbollah targets in southern Beirut, sending thousands fleeing. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
A dramatic moment at Girls State as staff members announced during the closing ceremony that they are stepping down and won't be returning. This comes after 150 students were unable to attend following an application deadline change. The move prompted lawmakers to launch an alternative event. For more than 85 years, the program has helped guide thousands of students through leadership training and an inside look at government.
I know that every single year, the week that the staff spends with these young women, investing in them, taking them through what government looks like at all levels, that it really is making an impact that is lasting generations.
The American Legion Auxiliary says not all staff have resigned and that the organization remains committed to continuing the program. They say planning is already underway for future sessions. Well, Arkansas officials say all summer EBT recipients will now be required to reset their PINs following reports of suspected theft linked to out-of-state scammers. The Department of Human Services say benefits meant for families in the state were used in several other states, including New York and New Jersey, prompting the security step. Officials say while the reset may be an inconvenience, it's necessary to prevent ongoing fraud. DHS also says it will switch to a new vendor in July with added security features to better protect cards and accounts. Happening today, the Washington County Quorum Court will consider creating a program that could help reduce the jail population. They'll discuss an emergency ordinance of pretrial services. This could add some positions like a supervisor, caseworkers, and a peer recovery specialists. The county detention center is operated above capacity for sustained periods. If approved, county leaders would put over $500,000 from the general fund to support the new system. Meanwhile, people from across the country and around the world are in Northwest Arkansas for Walmart's annual meetings. It starts today and continues through Friday. The annual shareholders meeting will be Thursday morning. Associates Week celebrations are also happening all week on the U of A campus in Fayetteville. Friday is that big associates meeting where top names in entertainment often take the stage for big announcements and concerts. Jimmy Fallon, Kevin Hart, and Peyton Manning are just a few who have hosted the celebration in the past. The U of A says drivers can expect road closures all around Bud Walton Arena all week. Well, a new gym opens to the public today in Bentonville, exclusive to those 50 years and older. The new facility at 215 Southwest A Street offers access to wellness programs, social spaces, and recreational activities, including a pool, group classes, and more. The Parks and Recreation Director says he's hopeful the community will embrace this project like they have others in the city.
What I hope is that our citizens will love this building the same way they love that promenade downtown, the same way they love Memorial Park, the way they love the community center, the way I love our trail systems. The best thing that we can do is to use our facilities.
Members should start at $15 a month for Bentonville residents.